Hey, this is Nicholas. I'm international master from Germany, and today I'm going to show you the game of the day, round one from the chess Olympiad in Baku. And yeah, this is how I pick my games. I just browse through most games which is possible. I mean, it's over 1,000 games, but I just have a quick look, and I think only chess players will understand if you see a chess game and you just think, wow, this is pure beauty, this is art. Then yeah, this is how I picked my game. And today it's the crushing game of Grandmaster Wei Yi from China. He played against not particularly good international master, rated about 2200. But the way he crushed this international master was really amazing. So and yeah, let's have a look at this game. And by the way, many people call me Niklas sometimes. Well, I'm not Niklas. I'm just international master, not like Niklas Huschenbeet. And well, his English is way better than mine. So, but I think you will understand. And the main point is the game today. And yeah, so let's start. They played the French opening, and this is not about theory today because you can look up theory in the video page on Chess24, and you have a lot of videos regarding openings. So we won't discuss this. Just one thing, this position, black can make a lot of moves, and knight f6 is one of the most common moves. But the point is knight f6 or c5 or d takes e4, they all are active moves, like not particular active, but black is doing something. And black can also in this position just make waiting moves. And one of the most common waiting moves is bishop e7, just saying, I don't know what you want, I'll just do nothing. Show me what you want to do. And the most common move is bishop e7, like I told you. And the second most common waiting move is a6. And this was played in this game. So white's just developing. Black plays c5. And now white takes on d5. Okay, this is not going to be the closed structure of the French opening, because e5 just makes no sense at all. Because in the first place, normally you can play e5 and black is forced to move a knight, which is basically on f6, and is forced to move it. So he has to move the knight twice. And second is you don't want to retake with a piece on d4 because e5 is going to be weak at some point. And yeah, you don't want to do that. So that's why you take on d5 in this position. And now you have mainly two moves. Most common move is taking on c5. And like I told you, we don't go deeply into theory, but just the main point of taking on c5 is to play knight b3 and now play a game against isolated pawn on d5. And yeah, you mainly do it by just putting pieces in front of it and exchange pieces, and later on this will be a weak point for black, because this pawn cannot be defended by any other pawn. So this would be a different game. So, and bishop e2 is just waiting. And now knight c6. There's one other line, and we are going to have a look at it later because it's going to be important. But for this, castling is normal developing move. And now, yeah, the most common move is to take on d4. So, what's going on now? The pawn was not defended. We can not take it immediately, but that's not a big deal because we play rook e1 and threatening the king. We can take on a6 if black doesn't prevent it. So he plays bishop e7, and now we just go and take the pawn back on d4, like knight f6, knight takes d4, and again we have a position where white plays against the isolated pawn on d5. Slightly better for white, I think. I would like to play white here. Yeah, but it's not a big deal. It's just normal. But instead of taking on d4, black makes a little mistake here and plays c4. Okay, to understand why this is a mistake, we have to go and take a look at the game, and then we will rewind, and I will show you another variation, and there you will see the difference. So b3 is attacking this pawn structure immediately, which is good, because black doesn't want to take on b3. If he takes on b3, then he just lost a lot of time, because blue is the mark for time now. So c5, c4, and then took on b3. And white played b3 and took back. So black wasted one move more than white for this exchange of pawns. And what does he got? He's got this isolated pawn on d4. There's, I don't know, no advantage in this structure at all. c4 eventually will come and attack the center. White is better developed. White can always go for bishop a3 if he wants to exchange the bishops. And this is just not good. So after b3, black has to play b5. And now there's this intermediate move of rook e1, threatening bishop takes c4 again with check. So black plays bishop e7, and now a4. a4 with immediate attack of this pawn structure, but it's a good move. I think it's the best move here, but I will show you some other line which is quite interesting, because maybe it's not a cheap trick. Let's say it's a trick, because it's not easy to see. And this is beginning with knight e5, setting up a little trap. Okay, because if you think, oh wow, this pawn is not defended, I can take it, then go ahead and take it. And now white has really, some very good moves, and in the right order, it's crushing. I don't think it's very tough to see, so I will skip it that you can think about it, but we'll just have a look instead. And the crushing attack begins with a bishop h5, which is kind of strange move, because I mean, when we learn chess, okay, we put a bishop to h5, most common the queen to h5 to threaten checkmate. Okay, but like here, okay, it's just a simple threat, isn't it? Well, it's not that easy to defend. If black goes for g6, which is I think the most natural way of dealing with bishop h5, he walks into bishop b2, attacking this knight on d4. So what's black gonna do? If he takes on h5, we're going to take d4, and now we have some very good threats, like knight c6 with a triple attack, because not only queen and bishop are attacked here, but also the rook on h8, and the pawn on h4 is going to drop soon, and f7 is weak. So you see all this all this red colored squares in the black position, it's meaning he's lost. So what else can he do? If he goes for knight f5, that's not good too, because now we have simple ways of winning material. Just this, yeah, triple threat with knight c6 again. So that's why g6 is not a good move, but bishop b6 is not much better, because we have bishop b2 now, knight f5, and okay, on the first side it looks okay for black, not very good, but maybe okay. But white has a really nice move here, and this is this is g4, white g4, because immediate knight c6 is not that powerful, because the knight on f5 is defending g7. So we just force him to leave f5, and now we could play knight c6, which is a really good position for white. But if you want to play like the perfect game, then knight to f3 would be the best move here. Just like in the games, this is one quiet move, but it sets up a lot of tactics. So black is actually lost in this position, because if he takes, then also f7 is really weak, and he's almost forced to go g6, and we have like knight c6, and yeah, too many threats for black to defend. So that's one of the reasons why knight to f3 is the best move, but we don't want to go into much more detail here. So just to know that knight takes d4 is not a good move because of bishop h5, and I think this is really a nice tactic. Okay, so but okay, black has a choice. He doesn't need to go in the trap and take d4. So if he takes on e5, okay, well, then I think white is doing better here, but not a lot. I mean, after bishop c5, black can finish his development with knight e7, and he's probably slightly worse, but it's kind of okay. So I mean, white can play maybe knight to d4 and take the pair of bishops on e6, but yeah, that's the reason why knight e5 is actually not as good as a4, but yeah, it sets up a nice trick, so that's why I wanted to show it. Okay, let's have a look. a4. a4 yeah, has kind of a simple tactic. It just threatens to take on a5 on b5. And that's why, or that's because the black rook on a8 is not defended. Yeah, he cannot take back at the moment. The most natural way to deal with positions like that is to defend the rook by playing bishop b7, defending the rook. But now it's not quite easy to understand. But after b takes c4, and okay, this is not very okay, this is not the critical line. I mean, it's the best line for black, but this position is just really good for white, because he's so much more active, and he's just developing the rest of his pieces, and always has this nice pin where he can put the bishop to a3 and pin e7 more, and that's why this position is not very good for black. But again, here the more difficult line to understand is d takes c4, because now the move you should do is rook b1, and okay, we need to take a look at this position, just really what's going on here. So we are threatening to take c4. d4 is black can take it, and it's probably the best way to play. And what's going to happen now? Okay, now we can still take on c4 because the bishop on b7 is unprotected. So we just make this intermediate exchange and now take on c4. He should probably take back because b5 will otherwise drop. So he takes back, and now I wasn't sure what to do with black, so I just make some move attacking the rook on b7, and now you have a nice tactic of knight takes c4 because this rook cannot be taken by black because we have knight d6 giving check and winning a queen. So after queen c4 we could make rook takes e7, which is going to be mate soon. Well, what did I do? No, it's not a mate. Wait a second. I'm not quite sure now. Maybe we should play bishop a3. I didn't look much closer because knight c4 was kind of yeah, sure, that must be the move, but bishop a3 looks sensible. I mean, if he takes, then we can play it. Take on e7, and yeah, that's a mate. So something like bishop a3 should be definitely winning in this position. So yeah, this is why d takes c4 is not possible. Very deep calculations which need to be done here in this game. But yeah, black played different. He played c3, and yeah, well, now white went for a sacrifice of a piece, and this just, yeah, it shows that white is really looking deep into the position to understand why he can sacrifice a piece for just 2 pawns. But we'll have a look at this later, because this is a point where I told you we need to go back to understand what was going on in the mind of Sadiku, because I'm quite sure he twisted lines. Because we take a look at this position and got it in your mind, then we go back to the move bishop c6, because c4 is a playable variation, but if you play it here, normal moves would be castling, bishop d6, and now again b3, b5, a4, and now black goes and plays c3. So what's the difference? Okay, we don't have our rook on e1, and the bishop is of d6 instead of e7. Okay, you might think, okay, the knight is not developed, but in this particular position, this is an advantage for black, because just simple, if you take on b5, there's no knight on c6, which is attacked. So here you cannot sacrifice the piece. And I think he didn't, I don't know, he just twisted lines or something like that, or just underestimated the sacrifice. So yeah, that was the point where I want to show you. So let's go back to the game where he played c3, and now you have white has a chance to sacrifice a piece by taking on b5. So you gotta take the pawn back, otherwise black will take on e1. Okay, in the game, the knight went back to b8, and yeah, we just want to have a quick look at what he could have done instead. He could have gone to a7, and now this is the point where I say it's not that easy for white, but it's just an amazing game, because what would have been the best move here? It's just just bishop d3. Okay, you always have to take a second look to understand what's going on here. The idea behind bishop d3 is to stop black from developing, because if he goes ahead and develops his knight, you always have this threat of bishop b4, which is very unpleasant for black. So this is the main point, to stop black from developing. And if he takes on b5, you can take back, because the rook on a8 is still undefended. So bishop d7, take it. And now another quiet move, because it don't crushes black instantly but surely, and this is really brilliant. It's maybe this is one position you can really take for your students if you're a chess trainer yourself, because white's idea is just simple, but it's not to defend. So it begins with rook a5. So what's the idea behind it? We don't know yet, but black knows he has to somehow get his king out of the line with the rook. So he goes for king f8. I mean, like, knight f6 still runs into things like bishop b4 and stuff. So king f8, and now you play knight e5 to develop this knight and have a little tricks. And like, for example, if he goes knight c7, we have this queen f3 with multiple threats, like going for d5 or f7. Yeah, so well, let's say in queen b7, it's more logical because it defends d5. And here comes the main point, queen a1. Okay, you may be thinking, okay, what's going on? What's the deal? The deal is black wants to finish his development, of course, and we say, okay, do it. Like king f7, get your knight out, and what else you want to do? Because we just play simple queen a4 and play now rook a1. So it was like 4 moves. Black had 4 moves to play, or 3, but he just couldn't defend it. He just couldn't defend the threat of going to the A line and triple. So in the end, we're winning a piece, and white is 2 pawns up, so it should be an easy win. Yeah, and that's after bishop d3. Yeah, really nice variation, because it's just simply playing slow. You sacrifice the piece, a whole piece, but you just play your thing, rook a5 and queen a1 and so on. Okay, but now let's have a look at the game. And black played knight b8 here, and white took the chance and took a6. And well, if you have a closer look at this position, what came to my mind is it's so hard to defend, nearly impossible. So you could check like 1,000 lines with your computer here, and you will probably survive. But as a human being in a game, it's very tough. So let's have a look what he played. He took with the bishop on a6, and now you can guess. Yeah, again, bishop b5 check, because same problem, the rook is not defended, so he cannot take. He has to play king f8, because knight d7, you would simply win the piece on a6, be 2 pawns up and winning position. So king f8, and now there's again this what we have seen a lot of times in these games. It's a move who doesn't really create a simple threat, but it's creating a lot of deep threats you really have to think about. And yeah, so what should Black do? That's a if he wants to develop, and trust me, he wants to develop, but he can't because whoops, that's the move he made. Because you could take on a6. If you could take with the knight or with the rook, maybe it's better to take with the rook because that rook was just annoying all the time. So exchange it. But white has knight c6 here, winning the bishop on e7, and again 2 pawns up, better developed. Black is poorly developed with his king on f8, so totally winning position. That's why knight f6 is not possible. So any other moves to develop, maybe knight is queen c7, and yeah, maybe now I give you like a few seconds to think about it. Just you don't need to calculate everything, but I will let you have time to get a first impression what's possible here. So have a think what you do. So I hope you have like the same like me. So it's possible to take an f7 here. Yes, it is. Creating the threat of taking the rook h8. So black has to take it. And now we have queen h5 check. So why? Okay. g6. Okay, the g6 is cannot be a good move, is obvious, because we can take on d5 with check and win a rook up on a8 and so on. So yeah, but the most natural retreat would be to go to f8. Yeah, but it's mate here. So that's why this tactical trick is possible here. And yeah, you can and you should think about king f6 in the game, but I think it's quite simple to mate him here. Like for instance, going g4, and yeah, this is a mate. Okay, so this is why after knight e5 it's just nearly impossible to defend it anymore. It's, yeah, black tried, played queen d6, and yeah, now begins the final attack, the final last moves of white to crush him. And yeah, he brilliantly take off with queen h5. Okay, this is again, it's a really nice mix between silent moves, making some deeper threats like knight e5, or when we discussed bishop d3, bishop e2 to d3. A silent move, but connected with many tactical threats. And this is a very simple trick. It's just threatening to checkmate the black king. So g6 is the most natural move of dealing with it. Other moves like queen f6 would lose the piece immediately, because again black cannot take it. Because right here we could also take it one more time, or we can just play knight d7 check, win the queen, and this position is yeah, it's totally lost. So this is why black played g6, normal move. But yeah, I think he missed the last move of white, and so the last move which will end the game. So we are having a look. King g8, and now you have some more time, because I will I want that you can find the solution to this nice tactic. And yeah, this one is finishing the game. Black resigned after the next move. If you need more time, just click pause and yeah, play push play if you're ready, because now I give you the solution, which is really just, I saw a lot of chess games, and finishing a chess game by playing bishop to e8, and black cannot defend f7 properly, and will be mated because of a bishop going to b5, from e2 going to b5, and later on to e8, attacking the pawn f7. It's just, I think it's a really, really nice game. Black can sacrifice the queen here, okay, but it doesn't make sense to play against a grandmaster with if you lose a queen. So he gave up in this position. Yeah. Okay. This was the game, my game of the day from the first round. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And yeah, you can the next days there's really a lot of chess in Baku going on. There's live commentary every day in a few languages, I don't know. And there will always be a recap showing the greatest game of the day, or one of the greatest games. There are a lot of great games, but this was definitely mine for today. I hope you enjoy watching, and see you next time. Bye.